Hey everybody, welcome to Comiskey Park. Game 7 for the White Sox. I did not get to finish on air with the last video. It ended in the ninth, going to extra innings. Went ahead and played the remainder of the game offline a few minutes ago. And it was the Blue Jays in 12 innings defeating the White Sox 5-3 on a 2-run homer by Ron Fairley. And that was the difference. Pete Vukovich got the win. Laren LeGros took the loss. They both went 3 innings of relief, so they are unavailable today unless there's an emergency. I'm going to try to give them a day off, even though the White Sox do have tomorrow off on the schedule. So with that loss, that's 2 losses in a row now for the White Sox. They dropped to 5-2 on the season. And before I get going, I've played 14 videos now, 14 games I should say on video, 7 for the Cubs and 7 for the White Sox. But I got a feeling I'm never going to finish this if I keep it at that pace. So what I'm going to do is kind of really cut back on the Cub videos. I want to do all 162 games on video for the White Sox. But for the Cubs, I'm going to cut them way back. I'm still going to play them offline. But I think I'm only going to do 1 video per new opponent. So Cubs just finished up. We'll get one more game with the Mets that will be offline. Then they go home and play the Phillies. Since they've already played the Phillies once, I'm not going to do any videos on that. I'm going to wait until they get a new opponent that has not been on the video channel yet. So that's what we'll do there. And the White Sox, of course, I'll just keep grinding those out, all 162 games. But I think that'll get me a little bit further along on the White Sox. And the Cubs, like I said, I'll do it when they have a new opponent or if there seems to be some great matchup that I just think deserves a video. So just wanted to put that out there so that I'm not doing this in 2021 and I'm still trying to get the season done. So with that in mind, we will start game 8 here at Comiskey. I rolled for average weather, and a single is 1-9 for both lefties and righties. Home runs are 1-2 for both lefties and righties. Look at the lineup for the Blue Jays, final game of the series, and the Blue Jays thought this would be easy pickings for the White Sox, but the Blue Jays in this 3-game series, the Blue Jays have won the first 2. So Blue Jays actually going for a very miraculous sweep here. All right, we got Garcia, Mason, Baylor, Otto Velez is DHing in place of Fairley because of the lefty Ken Brett on the mound. Woods, McKay, Ashby, Bowling, and Singer. So actually the 2 starting pitchers are the pitchers that faced each other opening day in Toronto. For the Sox, it's Bannister, Stillman, Orta, Zisk, Spencer, Gamble, Soderholm, Lemon, and Essien. So it's kind of late on a Saturday night. Thought about trying to do a live video, but I wasn't sure how it would turn out. Last time I had camera issues. Plus, Al, Red Sox fan, is doing a live stream right now with the Buffalo Bills, Atlanta Falcons on Strat-o-matic football, so don't want to overlap with that and try to compete with that. So decided to go ahead and just do my regular video, and hopefully that will go through without any problems, and I won't have to worry about the camera freezing on me or anything like that. Hopefully I'll get to do a live video at some point. Maybe the next series against the Angels, when the White Sox play the Angels, maybe I'll do the Nolan Ryan game as a live video. So we're getting started. Ken Brett on the mound, lefty against Pedro Garcia, the right-hander, second baseman, leading off, and game 8 is underway. 1-7 for Garcia against the lefty. He's going to pop to short. And there's one away. I'll write that correctly. I'm writing around my camera, so having to reach a little bit. That's why it's not quite as neat as it should be. Here's Mason, lefty on lefty, 2-8. He's going to fly to left. 2 down. Brings up Bob Baylor. 5-12 against a right-handed hitter. Ground ball to first, and that's going to end the inning. So Ken Brett, a very easy 1-2-3 inning for the Sox. We go to the bottom of the first. Toronto nothing and Chicago coming to bat. And it will be Bill Singer, the righty, for the Blue Jays against Alan Bannister. Bannister a 6-7, and that's a leadoff walk. So not a good way to start your game, walking the leadoff man of the ball game. Stillman's a deep bunter, so not likely to try anything there. They're just going to have him swing away. Get a 3-7, and he's going to walk as well. So back-to-back walks to start the game. Not a good idea for Singer. He's living dangerously. Now you got the big boys coming up. Orta, Zisk, and Spencer with Gamble to follow. Southside Hitman looking for revenge after losing the first two. 4-9, a lefty, 4-9. Struck him out. So Singer gets a big strikeout there for Orta. And now that brings up Richie Zisk. Pitch to Zisk at your own risk. 1-9. Well, he did, and he grounds to short for a double play. 6-4-3. So Bill Singer, excellent recovery there. And at the end of one, at Comiskey, it is no score. As Singer pitched around those two leadoff walks. Living very dangerously, but getting by. So Ken Brett back out for his second inning of work, and we'll be facing Doug Alt, first baseman. 6-7, and that's a ground ball to short. So one away. Brings up Otto Velez, the DH. 4-9 against a righty ground. That's a pop-up to short. 2 down. 2 up, 2 down for Gary Woods, center fielder. 5-6, he's a righty. 5-6, it's a fly to center, and that's the end of the inning. So Ken Brett has retired all 6 he has faced. And we go to the bottom of the second, still no score. Bill Singer back on the bump, facing Jim Spencer. It'll be Spencer, Gamble, and Soderholm. 6-11 against a left-handed batter. 6-11's a fly ball left field X. The left fielder for the Jays in this one is Bob Baylor. So we look at the left fielder. Bob Baylor is a 2-E5. 2 and a 3 could be problematic. Probably going to be at least a single, if not a double. 2 and a 3 is a single. There's a 7, and he's an E5. There is no 7. But it is going to be a base hit as Spencer goes the opposite way and drops one in front of Baylor for a leadoff single. Brings up the man with the big afro, Oscar Gamble. 6'8", lefty, 6'8". Oh, Gamble went big. 1-4 is a triple. 5-20 is a single with 2 stars. It's a 1, so it's a triple for Oscar Gamble. RBI triple. And the Southside Hitmen trying to hit their stride. They lead it 1-0. As Gamble did have two triples on the season. So now the infield's going to come in with nobody out. Actually, you know what? They're going to lay back because there's nobody out. Once they get one out, they might bring somebody in. They might bring it in, but initially they're going to lay back. 5-9, ground ball shortstop X. Shortstop is Mason. Mason is a 4 E22. 4 and a 15. Let's check Mason's results on that. A 4 and a 15 is a G2. And this is a 12. He is an E22 as a shortstop. E22, there is no 12, so let's check G2. G2, infield normal, runner at third, runner advances. So the runner advances to score, and the out is made 6-3. It's a 2-1 ball game, a 2-0 ball game now for the Sox, but the bases are clear. So the Blue Jays trying to limit the Sox to just the 2 runs by not playing the infield in. 6-7 is a walk. So base runners coming back. Here's Lemon with a walk. That'll bring up the number 9 here to Jim Essien. Catcher. 4-3. Ballpark single check, which is 1-9 at Comiskey. 13, so he's going to line to shortstop. And there's now 2 away. for Alan Bannister, top of the order. 2-8 for Bannister, struck him out, and the inning is over. So they may have been able to cut that run off had they played in, but they also could have given up 4 or 5 runs with a big inning. So kind of, weigh your options there. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But this early, you don't usually play the infield in this early, especially when you think you're going to score some runs. All right, here's McKay to lead things off for the Blue Jays. Third baseman, 1-11 against a lefty. He's going to ground back to Brett. And there's one away. Here's Alan Ashby, switch hitting catcher. 5-4, fly ball center field X. That is Chet Lemon. Chet Lemon is a 3, E13. 3 and a 5, that's questionable. Probably going to drop. 3 and a 5 does drop for a single. That's a 7. He's an E13. There is no 7. But it is a single for Ashby, as he's able to drop it in front of Lemon for the first hit of the game for the Blue Jays. Here's Steve Bowling. 3-8 against a lefty. He walks. So now there's 2 on with 1 out. And here come the Jays. Pedro Garcia. 3-8 against a lefty. Oh, there goes the rally right there. Ground ball, shortstop A. 6-4-3 double play. Just what Ken Brett ordered. And we go to the bottom of the third. Still 2-0 White Sox. As Bill Singer comes back out, he will be facing Royal Stillman. Stillman, a 3-10, lines out to third. Tried to go the opposite way, but right there waiting for it was McKay, and there's one away. George Orta, 2-11, fly ball to right. I'm sorry, fly ball to left. He tried to go the opposite way as well, but no dice as Bob Baylor hauls it in. 2 up, 2 down for Richie Zisk. It is a 1-9, and he's going to ground to short. So that's going to end the inning. Singer much more in control in that inning. After 3 complete, it's White Sox 2 and the Blue Jays nothing. We start the 4th, and it'll be Jim Mason, the shortstop, to lead things off. He's a lefty against a lefty. Mason against Ken Brett. Mason flew to left his first trip. 6-7 against a lefty. Possible base hit. 1-13 is a single. 14-20, he lines out. And he lines out to second. D20 not kind. One away. Here's Baylor. 2-8 against the lefty. He grounds to short. So 2 up, 2 down. And now we're looking at Doug Alt. 5-7 against a right-hander. Ground ball, second base X. Second baseman is Orta. And Orta is a 4, E23. 4-18, he'll get to that. Let's check the error. He's an E23, and that is a 12. E23, there is no 12. There was an 11, but no 12. So it's good play for Orta. And that's going to end the inning. So we go to the bottom of the 4th. Still 2-0 in favor of the Sox. Bill Singer coming back out. He's got a fatigue of 5, so he could go 2 more innings at least. And Brett has a fatigue of 6. So here's Spencer to start things off. Singleton scored his first trip, 1-5. He's going to do at least that well. 1-5 is a double. 6-20 is a single. And it's a double for Jim Spencer. So Spencer coming out hitting. 2 for 2, single and a double. And here comes Gamble. He tripled first time up. We got a 4-7 against a lefty. That is a single with 2 stars. So Spencer and Gamble, the igniters for the White Sox in this ball game, as we have runners at the corners, nobody out, infield at double play depth, looking to turn 2. 5, 7. Not going to matter. 1 to 11 is a double, and anything else will be a single. 2 stars either way. It's a double, 2 stars. So Soderholm doubles, 3 consecutive hits. Spencer scores, and Gamble will go to third. It is 3-0 in favor of the White Sox. Here's Chet Lemon. The infield will come in now. Second and third, nobody out. Chet Lemon. 3-5 for Lemon. Struck him out. That's a big strikeout there. 1 away. Infield still in for Essien. We get a 6-9. 6-9. Ooh, Essien does have normal power. So 1 to 5 is a homer. Anything else is a triple. So that's going to clear the bases. 1 to 5 is going to clear the batter as well. Nope, it's a triple for Essien. He had 2 triples on the season. This one's off the pitcher card, but he wasn't like he never had a triple before, so not totally unrealistic there. It is a 2-run triple. It is now 5-0 favor of the Sox, and they are laying it to the Blue Jays to get payback for losing the first 2 games, and especially losing that extra inning game. One really got under the craw. So now that'll bring up Alan Bannister. And the infield's still in with the runner at third and 1 out. It's a 1, chance for a wild pitch, and Singer's got a 9 wild pitch rating. No wild pitch, so a reboot with Bannister. 6-9, same roll we just had. It's right back to a home run chance, although Bannister is weak power. So 1 to 5 is a single. Anything else is back-to-back triples. It is back-to-back triples, and I believe that might be all for Mr. Singer, as the White Sox have sewn up Mr. Singer's exit. So we will get a new pitcher in for the Jays, and they will go to, has to be somebody with long relief in mind. So they're going to go with Jerry Johnson. Jerry Johnson is on, and Singer only went 3 1/3 innings, and he faced 19 batters, giving up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 hits, and he walked 1, 2, 3. He walked 3. Struck out 2, 3. Struck out 3. Didn't give up any home runs. He has given up 5 runs, and the runner on base is his responsibility. So now Jerry Johnson tasked to get him out of this inning and eat up some innings. So infield still in for Royal Stillman. Get a 3-4, and Stillman, look at this. Column 3 is going to do it to him again. 1 to 5 is a homer. 6 to 20 is a double. So 1 to 5 is a dinger. Nope, it's a double. So that's going to close the book on Singer, as that last run by Bannister is charged to him. So count him for 6 runs all earned in 3 1/3 innings. RBI double for Stillman. It is now, check that, it's 7 runs. 7 runs. 7-0 Sox. So 7 hits, 7 runs, all earned in 3 1/3 innings. And that's a game that Mr. Singer would like to forget. Here's Orta. 2-2 for Orta. He's going to ground to second. That will move the runner to third base with 2 outs. And now the 9th man to bat in the order in the inning, Richie Zisk. 1-6 struck him out, and that ends the inning. So they sent all 9 to the plate, with 5 of them scoring. And at the end of 4, it is the White Sox 7 and the Blue Jays nothing. So this one looks to be a laugher. Unfortunately, not as compelling as some of the other games were, but that's what you get from time to time. You're going to have blowouts. Can't do anything about it except play them out. Here's Otto Velez. 4-9, pop up to short. Meanwhile, Ken Brett cruising along. Here's Gary Woods. 1-8, fly to right. He's showing you how it's done. Here's Dave McKay. 5-9. Switch hitter batting right, flies to right, ends the inning. Although in all fairness to Mr. Singer, Mr. Brett does not have to face the Southside Hitman. He's getting to face Toronto, so not exactly a good comparison there. All right, so Jerry Johnson back out. And he'll be facing Jim Spencer. He is singled and doubled, 2 for 2. 4-2. 1-10 is a base hit. 11-20 is a line out. And that's a base hit, so he is 3 for 3 in the game. That was one of these split chances on that 4-2 where when you're playing super advanced, you drop down to this line here. 1-10 was a single, 11-20 was a line out. So he found the single. Here's Oscar Gamble. He's also 2 for 2. 1-7. Oh, he just missed a home run. 1-7 is going to be a fly to center. And it's one away for Eric Soderholm. Soderholm, 5-5. Ground ball to short. That's a double play. 6-4-3. Ground ball shortstop A. So the inning is over. And at the end of 5 complete, it is Chicago 7 and Toronto nothing. Bears are leading the Argos in CFL action. All right, here is Alan Ashby, switch hitting catcher. And this is the start of the point of weakness inning for Ken Brett. 5-8. He's a right-hander. Line out to short. So that's a dot there, but he's just starting this point of weakness. He hasn't reached it yet. So it's a good play. One away. Here's Steve Bowling. 1-10 against the lefty. He's going to walk. So that's one notch against the point of weakness on that walk. Brings up Pedro Garcia. 4-7. And that's a single with 2 stars. So make it 2 knocks against his point of weakness. Runners at the corners. Although with a 7-0 lead, you can go stretch him a little further if you like. Here's Mason. 2-11. Ground ball third base B. That's going to score the run because they were playing back for a double play. So the run will score. It's an RBI ground out by Mason. Gets Toronto on the board. 7-1. Will be a fielder's choice. Fielder's choice 5-4 to force out Garcia. Mason, the new runner at first with 2 outs for Bob Baylor. Baylor 6-10, flies to the left. That's going to end the inning. Blue Jays finally get on the board. Too little too late perhaps. 7-1 as we go to the bottom of the 6th. Jerry Johnson facing Chet Lemon. 3-9 for Lemon. He flies out to left field. One away. Jim Essien, 3-4. Ground ball to second. There's 2 away. And that brings up Alan Bannister. 5-9. Struck him out. So Jerry Johnson's brought some order to this game for the Blue Jays. And he's going to try to eat some innings. At the end of 6, it is the White Sox 7 and the Blue Jays 1. And we'll take a quick pause for just a second. And folks, you know it's a rough game when Tabby's sleeping this one out. So it's a snoozer for Tabby. So if you check out, I don't blame you because it is kind of a snoozer. But well, maybe Tabby is kind of giving some. Her Toronto got a run, so she's trying to. Maybe she's kind of perking up a little bit. We'll see. Don't know. But right now, Tabby seems a little disinterested. As far as Gracie goes, she might be a little interested. She's looking to find out what's going on. She says it's a yawner. It's a yawner. It's been confirmed. So, what are you going to do? Top of the 7th, here's Doug Alt. 5-4, and that's a fly ball center field X. That's Chet Lemon. He's a 3E13. 3-19, he'll get to that. There's a 8. Checked against an E13 rating in center with an 8. E13, There is no 8. There's a 4 and a 6, but there's no 8. So it's a good play by Chet Lemon. And there's one away. Well, it's kind of late on a Saturday night, so maybe that's why they're yawning and sleeping too. Maybe it's not just the game. Here's Velez, 5-7. Ground ball second base X, that's Orta. And Orta is a 4, E23. 4 to 20, he'll get to that. 10, no error on the 10, so it's a good play for Orta. So 2 up, 2 down. Just double check and make sure it wasn't an error on the 10. It's not. 11 would have been an error, but not a 10. Here's Gary Woods. 3-11 against a lefty. It's a ballpark single check. It's a 1 to 9 here at Comiskey. That's a 20 though, so he's going to line to short. And that's going to end the inning. So Ken Brett goes 7 solid. And actually, he's still got a little bit of life left in him if they want to keep him going, because he's only given up 2 base runners since the point of weakness. He's given up a walk and a single, and you're allowed up to 4 when you cover more than 1 inning. So he's still got a little bit of juice left. Here's Jerry Johnson. He'll be facing Royal Stillman. Start the bottom of the 7th. No 7th inning stretch song. Just going to keep going to finish this one up. 110 is a walk. Royal Stillman with a leadoff walk. Brings up George Orta. 6-11. 6-11 is a ballpark single check. 1 to 9 would do it. But it's a 10, so he's going to line to second. 1 away for Richie Zisk. 4-4. Ground ball shortstop X. Shortstop is Mason. He is a 4. E22. 4 and a 5. 4 and a 5 is a single. It's an SI1. So it's single 1 star. There's a 12. An E22. There is no 12, but it is a single. 1 star. So Zisk will single and Stillman will go to second. So runners at first and second with 1 out for Jim Spencer. It's a 2-6 for Spencer. Ground ball first base A. That's going to end the inning. 3-6-3. Nicely turned. Alt to Mason, back to Alt. 3-6-3 double play. And the inning is over. So we're going to go to the 8th inning, and actually Bob Lemon has said Ken Brett has given him enough. So we're going to go to the bullpen, and they're going to bring in Bruce Dow Canton, kind of using some of their schlubs, so to speak, with a big lead. And like I said, tomorrow for them is a scheduled day off, so particularly guys like LeGros, who went 3 innings in the previous game, is going to get an extra day of rest. All right, it'll be Dave McKay, switch hitting third baseman, to lead off against the righty Dow Canton. Start the 8th. 3-5, he struck him out. So Dow Canton comes in and gets the whiff. Here's Alan Ashby. 5-6 against a switch hitter batting left. 5-6 is a ground ball to second. So there's 2 away. 2 up, 2 down for Steve Bowling. 4-3 is a ground ball third base X. That's Soderholm. And Soderholm is a 2-11. 2 and a 4. He will get to that. 2 and a 4 is a G3. And there is a 9 on an E11. There is no 9, so it's a good play. Soderholm ranging to his left makes the play. We go to the bottom of the 8th. And we'll get a new pitcher in for the Blue Jays. It'll be left-hander Mike Willis, as he will take over for Jerry Johnson. As Jerry Johnson did yeoman work, going 3 1/3, went almost as long as Singer did. And he's going to be facing a lefty, Oscar Gamble, to start things off. So Willis, the new pitcher. And actually, he's not going to face Oscar Gamble. they're going to go to the bench and bring in Lamar Johnson, the right-hander. He's going to take over as DH. In this case, he will be pinch hitting for Oscar Gamble. So Oscar Gamble gets the rest of the day off. And Lamar Johnson is in. Very good columns against lefties. So we'll see what Lamar Johnson can do. 3-7, well, he strikes out. That's what he can do. 3-7, he struck out. Well, sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. Here's Soderholm. 3-7 again, and this is a 1-3. I'm sorry, 3-7. 3-7 is a single. I was looking at 2-7. 3-7 is a single this time, so back-to-back 3-7 rolls. See if I can roll something different besides 3-7. How about 4-6 against a righty? 4-6 is a fly to right. 2 down. And we're at Jim Essien. 4-10 for Essien. Ground ball shortstop X. That's Mason. The 4 and a 4. That's going to be a base hit. 4 and a 4 is a single 2 stars. So that will be a single 2 stars. Soderholm moves to third base. We'll make sure there's no error on the play. Mason's an E22, and that's a 6. E22, there is a 6, so it is an error. So that's going to end up scoring the run, as an E6 is going to move Essien to second, and it's going to bring home, on the E6, it'll bring home Soderholm. So Mason with the error. That's an unearned run. At this point, it doesn't really matter. Here's Alan Bannister. 4-11. Ballpark single check, 1-9. And that's a 7, so that's a base hit. 1 star, so the runner has to hold at third. So runners are at the corners with 2 outs for Royal Stillman. But you know what? They may pinch hit for Stillman here. And get a new left fielder in the game. I think they will. Just to give somebody else another at bat. They're going to bring in Jerry Hairston. He's going to get very much work so far this season. So we give switch hitter Jerry Hairston a chance to bat. And he will stay in the game to play left field. So Jerry Hairston will get an at bat. See what he can do. Switch hitter batting right against the lefty Willis. It is a 6-9, and he walks. So that will load the bases. Bases are loaded for George Orta. Willis tries to pitch out of this. 5-6 against the lefty. It's struck him out. So he manages to get out of this thing when he gets to face a lefty. So 1 run comes in. It's unearned. So we've got Willis with 1 run unearned there. And we go to the 9th. It is 8-1 White Sox. And Del Canton will be looking to finish this thing out for the White Sox. Not have to have them use another reliever if they can avoid it. Here's Pedro Garcia, top of the order. White Sox 3 outs away from going to 6-2. 6-5 is a ground ball shortstop X. That is Bannister. Bannister is a 4 E48. That 4 and that 5 is probably a base hit. 4 and a 5 is a single. That's a 13 E48 and a 13. There is no 13 miraculously. It's a 12, 15, 16, and 18, but no 13. But it is going to be a base hit for Mr. Garcia to lead off the 9th. Here's Jim Mason. 6-4 against a lefty. Well, shortstop Bannister will get another chance. Ground ball X again. And 11, he'll get to this one. The 4 and an 11 is a G3. And that is a 12. So E3 and a E48 and a 12. E48, the 12 is right there. We just saw it last at bat. So it will be a 1 base error. He got to it, but he booted it. So it's an E6. E6 on Mr. Bannister. That puts 2 on with nobody out. And here's Bob Baylor. 2-6 for Baylor. He's going to ground to third and a fielder's choice. So I'll put runners at the corners. Mason's out at second, 5-4. So runners at the corners with 1 out for Doug Alt. 3-8 for Alt, and he grounds into a 5-4-3 double play to end it. 5-4-3 double play ends it. And the White Sox break their 2-game losing streak by thumping the Blue Jays here on the final game of the series by the final score of 8-1. Winning pitcher was Ken Brett. The loser was Bill Singer. I'm not going to bother with the totals. I'll wait till I put those in the computer. I just want to get this video completed and get ready to move on to the California series, where the White Sox will be traveling. They've got a big West Coast trip coming up in their schedule, as they just finished the Toronto game. Now they've got 2, that should say at California, not California. That's at California, I do believe. I'll double check it, but I'm pretty sure it's at California. It could be at Chicago. I'd have to double check that. So maybe that's a typo on my part, but I know they're playing California. I just don't know where it is off the top of my head. But then after that, they go to, so I'm pretty sure they're in California, because they also go to Oakland as well. So that would make sense to do both of those at the same time. So I'm guessing these are at California, then at Oakland. And one of those is a doubleheader, so that's actually 4 games with Oakland. One, of course, being a doubleheader, first doubleheader of the season. So we got 6-game road trip out west, and then 2 more games in Detroit. So that's actually an 8-game road trip, and they don't come back home until April 29th to play Texas. So got to pack their bags and hit the road for a while, as they go west, young man, as the saying goes. But again, the final score: Chicago 8, Toronto 1. White Sox now improved to 6-2 on the season. And like I said, pretty much I'm going to be doing many more White Sox videos than I do Cub videos, because I want to do every game of the White Sox and just 1 game of each series from the Cubs. So it won't take me so long to get through all this. So that's going to do it from here. Sorry, Dave S., the Blue Jays could not get the sweep, but hey, you know, winning 2 of 3 in Chicago is still a good feat for a expansion Blue Jay team. So that's gonna do it from here. Hope everybody is having a great day wherever you are, whenever you're watching this, whether it's day or night. And hope you enjoy playing whatever game you choose to play, however you choose to play it. And I will see you all down the road.